Overall, I think the event has been successful. This is the inaugural event, and I've had the benefit of also judging in the regional Appies in Singapore. I must say that the standards of submission has been pretty good. A lot of the cases, right, actually deserved the awards that they've actually won. They are actually of very high quality, as you will be able to see it themselves. So the whole idea of the Appies is that it's really transparent because the delegates are here. If the judges actually make the wrong choices, what happens is that the delegates themselves will be doubtful about the process of judging itself. So it's very important that we kept a very high standard in terms of how we qualify the winners. So I'm actually quite happy with the results and the criteria that was actually set for the judging purpose. The judges were very consistent in terms of how he evaluated the case. So it was actually very close. The scores were actually very close for all the cases, which actually made it quite difficult. So in the end, fortunately, we didn't have to deal with any tiebreakers. Although some of the prize winners can be just a difference of less than 5%. Right. So that's how good the submissions were, I think. I typically enjoy is to see cohesion happening on stage. When I say cohesion, it is actually a very important element of marketing, because no singular person can actually deliver a successful campaign. It is really taking advantage of the entire marketing ecosystem. So when we actually get to see two presenters, one from the marketing side and the other one from the agency side, doing a very good presentation together and is cohesive, that's actually something that is enjoyable to me, right? Because I can see that the industry is actually upholding very good standards of practices. The judges were actually quite consistent in terms of the questioning of the cases themselves. The delegates themselves, they were warming up to it yesterday. I think today there were a lot more questions being asked. And I think they started to realize that the value they will get from the whole event itself is when they do ask questions. So this is a very interesting opportunity where you get all these head of marketings of some really strong brands in our marketplace. And you get senior people from the creative agencies who came out with all those campaign ideations. And you have them on stage. They have no choice but be obligated to answer the question. So for any marketeers out there who are really interested in learning and who are curious about some of the campaigns that they themselves are exposed to in the marketplace, this is a great chance to get an answer from the horse's mouth themselves. So I think today I saw that the delegates were being a little bit more confident in stepping up to the mic and asking questions.
I think it's a breath of fresh air, like what I shared with Ham just now. It allows for a lot of learnings. Even as a judge, it allows me to learn from the contestants. It allows you to clarify from the horse's mouth itself, from those who actually worked on the campaign, as to why and how certain things was done, and eradicates assumption altogether. So it's, I guess, the strength of the Appies is really the learning that it gives to all the participants and the delegates here today. We have got a lot of good work out there. And what's more important is that you also could see that there's a lot of good work, alliance between agency and some advertisers, creative agency and media agency. They work together. They've really owned what they're doing. They have an idea of what they're doing, and their willingness to share. I think that's really key for today. The fact that we have an interaction with the participant, and this is unique to itself. It's not there in almost any other award. So I think that uniqueness in itself set the Appies apart.
It's been great. I mean, the speakers have been great, and the case studies in terms of the presentations by the different sort of candidates vying for the awards have been great. I think it's been very disciplined. We've been like chop, spot on in terms of time-wise, and a lot of good questions as well. Now, the ones that we took on in our group has really been very much more of the sort of social campaigns, less of the commercial campaigns. So that in itself is interesting for us because we normally look at very hard numbers, whereas in the social ones are slightly different. So that's also been really interesting. A lot of good learnings. Yeah.
I think it's very good to show, to share, to learn, to meet people. So I think it's one day we should all try to do that at least once a year. I think marketing is challenging. We've been through some speakers talking about this. Definitely, it's interesting to see that business objectives are challenging already. We have to be creative. We have to execute well. We have to deliver results, and it's not always easy to get everything right. And we have to deal with that as a marketeer, and having different case studies from other industries and having discussions around it shows that we are all on the same boat, actually. So pretty good for learning.
Oh, today was fantastic. I think the format of Appies is definitely the magic. The 4 minutes of video, 6 minutes of presentation, 20 minutes of Q&A, chop, chop, chop. You know, it's really nice, and it really encapsulates what a whole good presentation is all about, and it gives everybody a good flavor of what the awards is about and what the submissions are. So I think as judges, we enjoyed it, and I think the people also had opportunities to ask questions. So that was great. We had 8 case studies presented, and I'm really very astounded at the quality. It was very interesting moment for us to sit there and listen to the presentations, because it really clearly showed that Malaysia, we have talents, and we had some really fantastic campaigns, and it wasn't just about really nice pictures and creatives, but also really good results. And I think that's the essence of it. It's not just looking good, but also giving us good performance in terms of what we want to gain from a campaign. The fact that the participants were allowed to ask questions, that was a very good opportunity for them to learn, because like what Ham said, right, this is an opportunity for you to see best case studies presented, but also for you to ask those nagging questions, you know, because you could look at a campaign and say, hey, you know, this is something I could implement, or it's something that I could run in my company. But sure, you'll be wondering, you know, that I'm sure it's more to it than that, and those are the magic questions that you wish you knew, and now you actually had the opportunities to ask. So that was really a good opportunity.